Hey guys, Berrypicker here. Today I'm here to review the new Pokémon Scarlet and Violet on the Nintendo Switch. This will be a non-spoiler review and I will be simply giving my take on the game, my experience, and a rating at the end. You might get triggered on what I have to say about the game, but with that being said, let's get started. I have a lot I want to say about this game, both good and bad, mostly bad. So I think I'll tell you the good first and then hit you with the cold water later. Let's start with the combat. The combat is the same as always, though the game has Pokemon Arceus battle setting, which I came to enjoy during that game, so I'm glad they brought it over here. The main difference in the combat system is being the new mechanic, which is to terrestrialize, or Terra for short. Terra works like this. Let's say you caught a Charizard that has a Terra Water ability. By the way, you catch these Pokemon by fighting them in a shiny beam in the wild, just so you know. Once it's terrestrialized, this allows Charizard during battle to lose his fire and flying abilities to swap for the water type. But if you have a water type Pokemon and a Terra Water ability, all this does is makes the water moves it already knows do 50% more damage. Now, I'm not a competitive Pokemon player, so I can't say this will benefit the community in that sense, but I do think it's a pretty cool idea. I personally prefer this over the Dynamax feature. All they did was get big. Another positive would be the Pokemon Center. I really like this change they added to this one. They basically bundled Pokemon Center, Pokemon Market, and they added a new shop to make TMs for Pokemon. It saves you time from having to go into each one individually. You do your own thing and come out on your own time to continue on with your adventure. The Poké Center is pretty much everywhere, meaning you don't have to worry about coming back or looking for another one on the map. You'll pretty much find one on your journey not too far ahead. Another thing is that the NPCs that challenge you to battles no longer activate by the side of you. They just stand there waiting for you to come to them and accept their challenges. For all those who hate sneaking around the NPCs to avoid battle interactions, you no longer need to fear. They also brought back a mode that I liked in Sword and Shield, which was the raid battles. The raid battles is pretty much where you and 3 other players online fight against a powerful Pokemon, and if you beat the Pokemon, you have a chance at capturing it. This mode is really fun with friends, so I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it out yet. And you can win some cool prizes out of it as well, of course winning the Pokemon by capturing it and some candy and other prizes. The last thing I wanted to add was the soundtrack. Now this won't really affect the rating of the game, but I will be playing a few tracks that I think stand out and were pretty good in my opinion. But now it's time for the dream to end and for you to wake up to reality. The first thing I want to start with is the visuals. The visuals are the first thing you get to see in a video game and shows you the direction the game is heading towards and what to come. The visuals in this game are just awful. The game tries to show you its beauty by showing a small endgame cutscene of the open world, but you can tell that the visuals are lacking and fail to showcase the world as intended. You can see the frames drop in the cutscene as well, which is not a good start to a $60 game. Exploring the world, you can see that it's like this throughout the whole game. I wonder how long it'll take till Game Freak decides to actually put work into the visuals. I mean, this looks so bad to look at. Sure, the visuals are not the main point of a game, but for a game that's open world and meant to showcase Pokemon in different environments, it does a terrible job at it. While playing this game, there's also parts of the map that end up clipping in and clipping out. It's just really bad to see the game in this condition and really ruins the open world aesthetic. Now moving on to the gameplay. It's okay, but it has issues. At the start of the game you can see it drop frames as soon as you move from your chair, which foreshadows what's to come. And my god, it's laggy and moving the camera around makes frames drop as well. It's a common occurrence while playing the game and it feels janky. I will say I can get by with the frames drops continuing on with the game, but how consistent it is makes me not want to explore every nook and cranny. You can see the texture struggling to load in, and the NPCs are moving like in a choppy way. I feel like every Pokemon game that's coming out from Game Freak just gets lazier with the animation. I feel like they don't put no effort whatsoever, and here's a good example of that. I also found that the game has a loading problem. I kid you not, I have found so many issues while playing this game casually. I've seen bugs, I've experienced glitching, and some odd entities that I can't explain myself. The game stutters while you walk. I'm learning to deal with this, but it's really annoying. I don't remember Sword and Shield being like this, so I went back to take a recording and this is what it was like. This game, in my opinion, makes Sword and Shield look better in comparison. They both have crappy visuals, but at least Sword and Shield is running smoothly. Another complaint I have is the dialogue. At the beginning of the game there is so much dialogue to the point where it feels like it's hours to get into the actual action. I understand if it's to set up the story or a tutorial, but it's just so much all at once. You can speed up the text dialogue in the options, which I didn't find out till later, but even with this on it still feels like forever. This is a little small complaint on my end, but some of the Pokemons in the open world are so tiny. So tiny to the point where I run in the grass trying to get to point A to B, I accidentally bump into them without even realizing it. They just look like pixels in the grass, and it's really hard to avoid them at times. Like, I wish they could have made them a little bit bigger so they could stand down so I can go around them and not have that issue, but it just kind of bothers me, so I wanted to throw that out there. Another thing I didn't really care for was these mini games you have to do before challenging the gym leaders. Some people might enjoy them, but for me, I find them very tedious and unnecessary. One of them was to throw your Pokemon into a herd of the enemy's Pokemon and have them fight it out. And the other one was just a hide and seek mini game for the flower Pokemon. I would rather much battle an NPC like in other games, but like I said, some probably enjoy it, I don't personally. And as for the multiplayer feature, I really came to enjoy it. It was so much fun and I actually enjoyed myself playing this game again. You're untethered in the multiplayer mode, so meaning you can go anywhere you want in the map and so can your friends and do whatever missions you have to do in your original game and get it completed while playing with your friends. You can also trade Pokemon and do raid battles with your friends, which is another feature that I also liked. Overall, the multiplayer aspect is really fun and enjoyable, and I highly recommend trying it out. The only downside to this is that the fact that the game drops more frames while you're playing multiplayer, and you can crash more often, but it's a small little risk to have fun moments like this.
Look at him sprinting. Why, sir, excuse you.
He likes to have fun.
I see that. Sir, are you good? Be a good boy. Oh my god, yes. How do I take a picture though?
One shot.
She's
shot.
built though, I'll tell you that.
She is. Look at, work those legs. Work those legs.
Although I'm powering through all the terrible visuals and the bad lag and bugs that are in the game, it still makes it terrible for my opinion. To me, so far, it makes me only want to finish the Pokédex and do some shiny hunting, but that's really about it. I don't really care about exploring the world or doing any side missions just because of how bad the game struggles to run on the Switch. Whether it's a hardware issue or Game Freak just being Game Freak, this game has issues that need to be fixed. In conclusion, this Pokemon game was not really worth $60 in my opinion. I feel personally that this game was not meant to be released this soon and felt very rushed. And with the majority of the game being that you are in the overworld fighting and capturing Pokemon, with the frame drops and the bad visuals, it really ruins the feel for the game. Although I did enjoy the battle system and was still able to carry on with the game, I feel this game needs to be polished a bit more and definitely has some patches brought out to fix and address the issues. The game can be fun, but with the frame drops and the poor done visuals and everything struggling to load in, it really kind of makes the game hard for me to enjoy this title. As the current state of Pokemon right now, I'm going to be giving this game a rating of 6 out of 10. It really needs to fix these issues for me truly to enjoy the game. And to be honest, I wasn't really having high hopes for this Pokemon game. It's Game Freak. They have a simple formula. It works. So they'll know we'll buy. But at this rate, I feel that a lot of people are not going to be picking up newer titles in the future. Someday we'll get a good Pokemon game, but as of now, we'll have to deal with this. And one more thing I wanted to mention. You can play this game and still enjoy it even with all its flaws. As I pointed out, there are some things in the game that I truly do enjoy and I wish that it could be implemented in future games. And although this game came out in a pretty rushed state, it still does have its fun moments. And although I'm not going to spoil the story for you guys, I did find the story pretty interesting and I did enjoy it. Now, I grew up watching Pokemon when I was a kid, and growing up playing the games was so much fun, but this game is just a horrible mess, but I'm hoping they fix it down the road. But just because I didn't find the game enjoyable, doesn't mean you can't either. So if you're interested in this game still, I hope you enjoy yourself. But now, at least you know what you're in for when you buy this game, right? What are your thoughts on the game? Did you enjoy it, or did you hate it? Let me know down below in the comments. With that being said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, it means a lot to me. I have another videos in the works, so I can't wait for that one to come out soon. And I'll see you guys next one. Take care, much love, and in my personal opinion, don't pick up this game. It's just really bad. But hey, agree to disagree, right? See ya.